One thing rest assured about trading the future markets, I don't have to handpick stocks, and I'm not in the business of looking for long-term or positional type trading. I like trading the indices, in particular when it comes to the futures, because I'm trading, pretty much the basket of every stock or company that's within, the NASDAQ or the S&P 500 or the Dow or the Russell. And I just truly believe that the future markets are and have been, the wave of past, present, and future and moving forward. I think it's one of the best opportunities when it comes to markets to actually trade outside of options or Forex. Now, with this most recent presidential administration, under the Trump administration, and I'm not here to sway one way or the other, because when it comes to trading, honestly, I trade based on what I see, whatever the market is actually doing surrounding a particular strategy, which I'll just kind of, roughly or briefly go through, but it actually works. Okay. We have had successful people that are part of our community. Traders is what I'm talking about. And I commend everyone that is making money in, these bearish markets. Why do I say they're bearish? Well, let's take a look at a daily chart. Since the beginning of, really before the beginning of actual this year, 2025, this is a daily chart of the NASDAQ. Okay. I want to show you this. Since around mid part of December, we have sold off over 5,000 points, and we have broken through lows from last summer already through August, June, even back through the month of May, closing out Friday's trading session. So if you see, look at this, the big dip. Yes, we've had some pullbacks, but overall, we've been on a landslide, making major lows, lower highs, and just been dropping to the downside all this year. Now, I don't know if things are going to turn back around. If we start looking back into more of a healthy market as the economy hopefully turns around and gains some strength. But right now, the market has been plummeting to the downside, and my heart really goes out to anyone out there that has 401ks or money tied up into any particular stocks. We do know that the markets will regain just based on historical trend. But I mean, this is a significant, sell-off to the downside. If you look at it from a broader standpoint, yeah, I mean, look at last year, pretty much. Well, this doesn't go all the way back to January, but let's say May, and I'm pretty sure if we go back even further than that, we've been moving to the upside. Yeah, we're always going to have pullbacks in the market, then rallies. We have pullbacks in the market rallies. But if you look at it from if I pull a channel here, give me 1 second real quick. I'm just going to show you. Trend channel. If I obviously draw this from, since May of last year, we've been, moving to the upside. Okay. Yeah, we've had a nice pullback here coming out of, July into the month of August, but out of August, moving September, November, December, through the last part of last year, we were, the markets were pretty healthy, pushing to the upside. Okay. So, but outside of that, I'm going to go through and talk about the strategy, because this is the way that I make money each and every day. And I don't care about, who's in the presidential seat or the administration that's in place right now. I'm trading based on what I see as a trader. That is the business that I am in. I'm not trading based on, what's put out in the media or the news. Yes, I pay attention to the economic calendar and I'm savvy or smart enough to stay away from those major events. And even when the president or the Fed chairs are speaking, you got to know when to shut things down and just wait till the market gets back to a normal pace, right? So yeah, we've got a new 2025 administration. We can see what's going on in the markets right now. And right now it doesn't look too good, but hopefully, things will turn around and people will, those that may have lost some money in their accounts, all right, will hopefully turn back around. I'm talking about your brokerage account. I'm talking about those that have money tied up in 401ks, tied up in ETF accounts, or just some means of a financial account to where maybe you're losing your bearings right now. Hopefully the markets turn back around. All right. So without further ado, the way I actually trade is, number one, for anyone who's a beginner watching this, I will say this right now: master the concept of market structure. I don't know how to stress that enough or say that enough. I'm not here to preach, but I'm here to tell you that if you can master the overall direction of the market, you should be looking, then you will do fine down the road. Okay. What does that mean? Understanding when the market is making these higher highs or higher lows, or if it's breaking structure in one way or the other. That is the key. The concept and I should say the strategy and how I trade. Number one is determining the overall market direction. Okay. Number two, once I know that, then I'm looking for a decent or significant area of structure to be taken out. A major high or major low is what I prefer. Okay. Once I see something like that happen, so let's say we're in a bearish market, okay, which we have been. The market is breaking structure, and let's just look for an example right quick. If we look here at, let's look at Friday's trading session right quick. All right, we can see with the market, there was a low here, market pulled back, made a new low. This was a break of structure. That was a major low right there. Market pulls back and it tests a area of aggressive selling. I trade supply and demand. Again, like I said, number one, I'm looking for a decent area of structure to be taken out. That is a break of structure. I want to and I must certainly identify that area, a break of structure to occur. So number one, understanding which way to trade. Two, do we have a nice break of structure either to the upside or the downside where a major high or low is being taken out? This case here, a major low being taken out. All right. The market comes down. I'm looking for, in this case here, where we are breaking structure lower, a supply area where the market pulls back to. Aggressive selling is what marks up the area of supply. Okay, that's what makes a supply zone. The market pulls back to a key area right here. I'm going to mark that area up. Okay. Now, the remaining part of the strategy is once I figured out the direction to trade, once I identify a nice breaker structure, once I've marked off my higher base chart with the first area of supply or demand, in this case here we're selling to the downside, so supply, then I want to start to move down to a lower base chart to find what I like to classify a zone within a zone, which is multi-chart confluence. Yes, I'm trading based on range-based charts, not time, tick, or volume, because I like the way the movement, I'm able to read it on the range charts. Okay. So let's say, for example, I'll show you an example right here. The market made that low, right? A new low, pulls back. Now we got a major low resting right here. Okay. The market comes down, breaks the area of structure. This is on Friday's trading session, which was, April the 4th. Okay. And as it breaks that area of structure there, we have a nice area of supply resting right here. Once it breaks and takes out a major low or major high, I'm marking up my area of structure. All right. The market pulls back where I'm going to go ahead, mark up my higher base chart first, my 120. Okay. I've already determined the direction. I've already determined the structure break right here. What do I mean? The structure was broken below this low right here. Okay. Pull it back some, making higher highs and higher lows, taking out some structure over here as it pushed higher. So this is a reversal pattern back to the upside before coming back down to break an area of structure. That's what I'm marking as far, or when I am identifying an area of major structure. Taking it out right here, okay? Comes down, takes it out. I'm looking back now to the left-hand side as the market is retracing. This is the first area of supply resting right here. I mark it off on my higher base chart. That's that blue box. That represents the 120 range supply zone. Then I'm going to move down to my lower base chart to find a zone within this area here. Meaning on my entry chart, where I have a lower base supply zone to trade from. Now, I've moved down to my 24 range chart, okay? What I want to be able to identify is on the lower base chart as we are retracing back to the higher base zone, which is that bigger or larger rectangle blue box, I want to find a supply zone resting on the inside of the actual zone here. Here is an aggressive area selling on the 24 range chart. So we got a low, a lower high, and a break below this low right here. So that's a break of structure, okay, to the downside. So I'm going to mark that up on the 24 range as a supply zone that's on the inside of my 120 range chart. Some of you may be saying, well, there's an aggressive area selling right here at this area of supply. Yes, but we look at the market comes back to that area right here, and that's a high probability zone as well with the imbalance or gap back at the zone. It didn't stop there. And I talk about this in lots of videos where you may have multiple zones. Okay, you may have a zone here and a zone here. The best opportunity is to take the trade from where the origination of either selling or buying took place. In this case, we have selling to the downside that started right here with this first break of structure, second break of structure. So right here, yes, the market could react there, but this is the latter portion of the leg to the downside as it moved lower. So I'd rather take or look for zones higher up within the first zone markup, which is the 120 markup, the blue box, and then this is going to be at the upper end or the higher end of the actual higher base zone, okay, supply zone. So it pulls back to this area of 24 range supply, and that's why it reacted off right there. That's going to give us confluence. But we also have more confluence there, and you may be saying, well, what do you mean? Look here to the right. 17,750, a half number. Round number and half numbers, the market likes to react on those levels, okay? So the market pulls back to this key area of 120, 24 range supply zone, and we have a 750 half number level as well. It's definitely going to, more so reject. As long as we get the rejection, we're looking to go short, okay? And look what happens. It pulls back to it, and it comes all the way back down to, maybe feel some imbalances back down to the downside, but to recheck the low down here from where it came from. All right, this is an area of demand. There's no structure break with this, but this is an area of demand and it is low probability, but it's came back down and test that low right there. And then the market does what? It makes a high, higher low. We take out structure, moving higher to the upside. So now we're reversing back to the upside. As it does that, it'll make a high here, pull back, break a structure above here, but also above here. So now we've got the market reversing to the upside, okay? This is the first bullish run to the upside here, to where it first takes or creates an area structure. Then it takes out area here, takes out an area here. This is a demand zone resting right here, and you can look for an opportunity to go long. That's what I'm looking at. But this right here, I would consider this, let's see, a minor area structure being taken out here. And then let's see, this would probably be more so a major area. Well, I'm sorry, no. Both of these are minor area structure going back to the upside. High, higher, low, pushing higher, taking out structure. But as long as it's turning the trend or the tide where it's reversing, the sign of a reversal looks like this right here. And I'm going to draw it from the bottom right here. You see how it made a high, higher low, and pushed up, took out structure here and here. So that's what the market does. Whenever it's making lower lows and let's say lower highs to the downside, swinging like this, okay? And let's say there's some structure points as the market's moving lower. But then where it makes its first high and then higher low, that higher low is everything we need to be looking at to start with. Then it pushes higher, it breaks through an area structure here and takes out an area structure set to the left, okay? This is a reversal pattern right here, where it's made a structure break and taken out some structure over here to the upside. This is a reversal pattern, and that's what we have here going back to the upside. That's why when the market pulled back here, this is a key area of demand to look for an opportunity to go long, okay? Now, I go in more detail about things like this. If you're not an elite channel supporter or member, you may want to become one. It's only $6.99 a month. That's it, okay? $6.99. Think about how much money you may spend on a daily basis that adds up each and every week to maybe $50, $60, $70 just, on a cup of coffee, just for example. We're talking about something that could be game changing and may change your whole outlook and how you trade surrounding this simple multi-chart confluence strategy. That's like 24 to 25 cents on a day, pennies on the dollar. If you want to become a member, the link is down in the description portion of the video, right below the Discord link. The Discord is free. The second option is the Elite Channel Member Program. Once you click on that link, 2 tiers will pop up. Make sure to choose the second tier for $6.99. Now, what do you get with that? All the trade breakdown videos, which are tons of them on there. How do those videos help? That's where I go into detail about trade setups after setup after setup. These are trades that I've taken and posted over on our Discord community. I break them down for those individuals who are part of that private community so that you know where the place to stop at. You know where to take profit at. Walking you through step by step each one of those setups so you understand the strategy, my mind thought or process of what I was thinking lead up to each one of those trades, just as well as market structure. I got a great video. If you're part of that community, that private community, you want to join and become an elite member, surrounding market structure for anyone struggling with that concept as well. But you also get the video playlist. So you get the trade breakdowns, the video playlist, and that market structure video as well. Lots of video content there that should help you out. All for $6.99. Now, if you're not a current subscriber, please take the time to go ahead and sub by clicking on the subscribe button and making sure that you turn your post notifications on by clicking the bell. As soon as you do that. Outside of that, that's all I have. If you found value in today's video content, I would greatly appreciate it if you click and smack that thumbs up button for me right now. All right. I definitely appreciate it. But outside of that, that's what this video was really breaking down, is that, I'm not here to sway or talk about, political stuff, but I'm just looking at things in terms of what's happened since 2025. And, I'm not going to sit here and say that one person is to blame for all, whatever the case is. I'm just simply here to make video content and looking at things from a perspective, like people say, numbers, Numbers don't lie in a sense. Well, I'm looking at the charts. The charts don't lie. That's the reason why I'm glued to what's going on in the charts. So when I see the market land falling or sliding the way it is, it does make you think like, what is really going on overall? Okay. But as traders, we have to trade based upon what we see in the markets happening each and every day. Outside of that, that's all I have, guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see everyone over on the Discord starting Monday. We got, a whole new trading week, and I hope everyone has a successful week. And, be safe. Make sure you pay attention to the economic calendar, to all those events that you see happening each and every day, especially the high impact and mid impact photos you see. Those will push and pull the market, okay? Have a great rest of your day.